Texas has faced a nursing shortage for years. And by 2030, it's estimated that shortage will have grown by more than 60,000.
Wow.
Yeah, the CEO of the Texas Nurse Association, Cindy Zelenik, she says this is a very serious problem.
Hospitals have closed units when there haven't been enough nurses to staff them, so it is a significant threat. You do not talk about or see healthcare without seeing a nurse.
Absolutely. Now, she says nurses are aging, they're retiring, and clinical training sites are full. She says more educators and training facilities are needed to address this shortage. It's a big deal here in Austin.
Sure is.
This is a medical community.
Well, and it's a medical community which is expanding. We've got a lot of new facilities online now.
I just wonder why young people are not
coming.
I just wonder why young people are not choosing to be a nurse these
I
days.
know.
It's a great paying job. It's a difficult job, no doubt about it. It's very difficult.
Oh yeah.
Very time consuming.
Very stressful.
Very stressful. You deal with people in their dying days, and in some cases, it can be very emotional, very stressful, and you're on your feet a lot, long hours.
Well, let's talk about that because it also takes a certain kind of person to be a nurse, obviously. I would not be cut out for it in any way, shape, or form. It takes a certain kind of person that can put somebody else in front of them who can endure and look at things and deal with things that a lot of other people can't. Is that kind of person? I don't know. But as we evolve, and generation after generation, is that kind of person going away? Are we changing as human beings as far as what we're willing to do and what we're not willing to do? I don't know, but it is a kind of an interesting.
So, what's your question?
My question is: Are people, I guess, not as? Let me put it very simply: are people becoming less and less caring about other people?
Are we becoming more selfish?
Okay. Yeah.
3, 5. Let's go to the phones. Andrew in Austin. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for about 10 years.
Yeah.
One of you made a comment that why don't people want to become nurses?
I don't know. I'm just trying to speculate here.
I don't think it's that they don't want to, but it's finding a program that you can get into that, one, isn't waitlisted. You know, there are like ACC and whatnot. They could be waitlisted for a couple of years.
What does that mean?
You're on a wait list. They don't have enough seats.
Yeah.
A wait list. Okay.
Wait list.
Sound like you were saying weight lifted. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no. Sorry about that. And then, two, costs can be pretty prohibitive. When I went back, I have about $80,000 in student loan debt for getting my bachelor's in nursing.
Wow.
And
Wow.
It's ridiculous. And I'm in my mid-40s, man.
Andrew, how long have you been a nurse?
About 10 years.
And I don't want to get too personal, but I think some people listening might want to know, what's the job pay? I don't want you to tell me exactly what you get, but give us an idea. New nurse, end-of-life nurse, give us an idea.
Or you can tell us exactly, whatever you want to do.
I'd say 30 to 35 an hour can be pretty average.
30 to 35 an hour. That's
not bad.
That's a good living.
Yeah.
It's a good living. And it's a satisfying living if it's your kind of gig. And
yeah.
I promote, I hope people become nurses. It's just we got to get more nurse educators out there. So maybe if there were some incentives from, the government, you will talk about paying for education. Hey, start paying for nurses and nurse educators to get educated so we can fill this hole.
There you go. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. Let's see. James in South Austin. Good morning, James.
Hey, James.
Hi, you guys talking to me? It's Jake.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So same thing about the nursing. Another reason that people are kind of not as much here in Travis County is that the other big cities here in Texas are just much more competitive in their compensation rates, because here in Austin we only really have a couple of systems, which is the Seton Healthcare system, the ACA, and then the St. David system. Whereas in other towns like Dallas, they have the Methodist system, which really, having more competitive options for pay really obviously, allows more people to want to actually be in the field itself.
Yeah. I bet some of these bigger hospitals like you're talking about often steal employees, nurses, from some of the smaller outlying areas like the Hill Country, Burnet, Marble Falls, Bastrop.
100%. That headhunting happens all the time. We get inundated as a medical professional, myself also. We get inundated with emails from other companies, other hospital systems all the time.
That's a ripple effect right there. I mean, you have a problem getting young people to get involved in the nursing program. It's become so competitive. The big hospitals are stealing the good nurses, which leads to a lack of nurses in the rural areas.
Right.
I mean, some of these smaller hospitals on the outskirts of city limits, some of them had to shut down, and some of them have been, bought out by bigger hospitals.
But after talking to these two guys, it doesn't sound like there is necessarily a lack of interest in becoming a nurse out there.
It's a lack of seats to
Right.
get the education that you need.
Right.
627 here on the Todd and Don Show.
Todd and Don Show.